Andrew Stoddard along with Trent Worsham, Frontstretch.com here in the media center at Dover Motor Speedway after the running of the Xfinity Series Bet Rivers 200, or should I say 134, as Mother Nature intervened. Race called for 134 laps. Connor Zilisch, very familiar refrain in the Xfinity Series this season, his fourth win of the 2025 campaign. Trying to just talk about a little bit about our winner in the top five.
Yeah, so it seemed like early on Taylor Gray was going to, run away with it a little bit. He led all stage one, and then Connor Zilisch took the lead and did not look back. Mother Nature had plans to end it early, and he gets his fourth win. I asked him afterwards about being known as a road course racer and if this validates him as a threat to win the championship, because it's his fourth win, but he has a couple on the ovals now. And so he said he hates the term road course racer, because every time he goes, if it's not SVG, being predicted to win Xfinity, it's him. It's either or, and he did win last week. He beat SVG last week, so he wants to be. He doesn't see himself as that. He doesn't want people to see himself. He doesn't think a lot of people actually see himself as that. And so, yeah, for his fourth win of the season, this kid's only 18 years old, and he is a threat to win the championship. He has 4 wins. JRM's the best team right now, as the JGR guys I spoke to, with Eric Almirola finishing in second, Brandon Jones in third. I talked to those guys after the race, and I told Brandon Jones, I could see the look on his face of disappointment. He finished in third, but he just was like, man, if it could have gone green, if we could have gotten this going, if this rain didn't come, he felt like he had something for him. He gets an extra point because he did have the fastest lap of the race as well. So the speed was coming on late, and he just wanted more time, more laps for this race to go to see what he had for the 88. Eric Almirola, on the other hand, said that JGR's, he literally said, you guys have been covering the sport all year. JGR's a class of the field. I was asking him if there's anything he could have learned from a younger driver. He's like, nah, that team's just really good right now. So Connor Zilisch, Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones, your top 3. Fourth is Allgaier. I also spoke to him, the leader of JRM, as Connor said. He's like a dad to the team, They see him as dad. As Allgaier, what it's like having a young kid like Connor in the shop, and he loves it. He has, he's a wealth of knowledge for Connor, as Connor said. And so that JRM team's just clicking right now. There's no secrets. The veterans showing the younger drivers the ropes, basically. And yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a JRM favorites for the championship. Allgaier won the championship last year. It looks like a JRM driver could win again this year. So that's where we're at with the top 5. And you talked to some guys who had some other storylines.
Yeah, let's shift focus to Taylor Gray, and number 54, Joey Gibbs Racing Toyota ride. Won the pole, swept the first stage, led all 45 laps there, and then things came undone between stage 1 and 2 with a 23-second pit stop. The right rear tire fell on the air hose. They had to get that out, and then in order to finish the pit stop. And Taylor Gray somewhat rallied to a 7th place finish, but I was talking with him afterwards, said the difference of running the clean air out front in stage 1 versus the dirty air in stages 2 and what we got of stage 3. Mm-hmm. Just getting trapped in that dirty air bubble, it's been really hard to make progress. So still good speed in that Joey Gibbs Racing Toyota, enough to rally to 7th. And then there's the intrigue of the Xfinity playoff cut line. The 2 Burton cousins, Jeb and Harrison, were separated by just 16 points entering today. That gap has since tightened to 7, as Harrison finished 11th to Jeb's 20th, so gained some points there. Talked to them both afterwards. Harrison said, it's having that racing with a family member for that final playoff spot, it's anxiety-inducing. Like, it really adds another layer to think about, because they both race each other hard, but they race each other clean. Jeb, for his part, kind of downplayed it, saying, just trying to approach things as usual. But I will say they're both eager to go to Indianapolis next week, because Harrison's had good experience there, and so has Jeb. So they both feel good about going to the Brickyard.
I can only imagine what their dads might be doing if they're texting behind the scenes at each other. I don't think so. Ward's probably off on a lake right now fishing, but it's fun to think about. There's a little family, like rivalry going on between the dads too, Ward and Jeff, as they were competitors. Another guy who had a great run in his debut was Jake Finch, who you also talked to. We could not talk to Roger Cruz, but I also spoke with LeVar Scott, 3 guys who made their Xfinity debuts. What did Jake Finch say before we get to LeVar Scott?
Jake, lined up 17th, which I suppose was kind of fitting, being in number 17. So said, that he learned a great deal, but there's no really more Xfinity plans for him beyond this race. Just seems like a one-off at the moment, at least. So just kind of shifted focus to the other bet points values in at the ARCA Menard Series. We saw that race yesterday. Good win by Brendan Queen.
Yes.
So what did LeVar have to say?
I asked him, what did he learn? Because he was fast in practice. I believe Group 1, if I recall, he was third fastest. And, he started somewhat near the front. He had a decent starting, I forgot where he started exactly, but he had a decent starting position. And he was speeding on pit road along with Jake Finch. They both sped. And so he had to go to the back. So I asked him, what did he learn? And he said, man, I learned so much today. Dirty air, different grooves. He raced yesterday in the ARCA race. It didn't go as he wanted. He had a loose car and damaged his car and finished 6 laps down. But this was a home race for him. We saw him in his press conference this morning with I had to do a panorama shot on my phone just to get everybody who was in here for that press conference today. And so, he learned a lot. He was super excited. And the goal, was to bring it home. I asked him, if they didn't have the issue, does he think they had the speed to maybe stay up there? Or if the race goes long, could he work his way back? He said he probably had a 20 to 21st place car on speed, but he learned a lot. And as mentioned, we did not get to speak with Rajah Cruz, but he did debut this week in Xfinity, his first Xfinity race as well. And he finished in, let's see, we got the results right here. He finished in 22nd, so not a terrible debut for Rajah Cruz either. Ross Chastain had an issue. He could not finish the race. Nick Sanchez started in second place. He was the only non-Gibbs or JRM car on the front row and in the top 5 basically today. Right. So he had an issue, him and Chastain next to the race, but at the same time, we didn't get comment from those guys either. Can't imagine either one of them are happy about it. But yeah, so that's a lot. That's a lot of storylines for the Xfinity Series. We look forward to Cup. Any comments on Cup tomorrow before we wrap it up?
Practice and qualifying washed out, so it'll be Chase Elliott from the pole, a new tire compound just for this race from Goodyear. With no practice qualifying, going to be a lot of uncertainty as to how the track will respond and how they'll get rubber in the racetrack.
Yeah. So we will see you tomorrow for the Auto Trader Echo Park 400 from Dover Motor Speedway. I am Trenton Worsham. He is Andrew Stoddard. Thanks for watching.
Major channel announcement. Do you love NASCAR coverage? Well, as part of Frontstretch building its platform, we're now offering an option for paid subscribers. For just $3.99 a month, you'll be rewarded with exclusive content you can't find anywhere else. Beyond the cockpit interviews as soon as they drop. More of the pit road and bullpen weekend content that keeps you coming back to see the who's who of NASCAR explain all of their on and off track conduct. We'll even be doing some Where Are They Now pieces, taking a look at former drivers and owners that made an impact on the sport. Want more direct contact with your favorite Frontstretch reporters? No problem. We'll give you a chance to communicate directly with monthly Q&As. Your questions are what drives us to find answers. That's why we're here. The best seat at the track and the best view on the net for all of your quality motorsports coverage. Come take the green flag with us.